I have to remember to lower the volume. This one is going public, okay?
All right.
I have to remember where. All right, so I think we are going live now. Let me just double check. There you go. Hello, Henry.
Hello, I'm excited to be here today.
Me too, our first Wednesday meeting. So it's something that I really wanted to be in this connection with you to talk about spirituality. And I'm really happy that you agreed and you're a part of this new experience.
Well, I think this first episode is really going to be a neat one because body and soul connection in the four realms kind of sets a baseline for us to have additional conversations. So this is going to be pretty exciting.
Good. So what do you think? Should we start talking a little bit about what's happening in the sky right now? What are the energies that are influencing us today? Or you want to just jump into the...
No, I like that context of it. And ultimately, maybe even just you can describe what's happening, but the planetary change that we're having and the fact that today is the full moon, or late last night. New moon. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we have been talking about this new moon through our morning meditations, because I think we were preparing spiritually for what is happening now. And my feeling, because I usually, you know me, I go by feelings, but my feeling is that this new moon is going to be special. Just because it's happening, I don't know if you can see here the arrow, it's just happening with Pluto in the center of it, or like 1 degree from the conjunction of the sun and the moon. So usually when we have a new moon, what happens is the sun and the moon get together. So the male and female energy gets together. The purpose of our soul with the needs of our reality get together. So it's like a perfect union. It's the how can I say, but the wanting and the needs of our soul to experience something here on earth, but also with the awareness of what is needed in order to go through that journey. So, and every time these two get together, a new cycle starts and a new seed is being planted. But when we are starting this new cycle with Pluto, which is this black symbol here, I don't know, can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that means that this energy is going to have a little bit of Pluto energy in it. So it means, and Pluto is the planet of profound transformations. It's also the planet of power. But I think right now, at the beginning of the cycle, it's going to bring transformation. And perhaps the seed that we are planting now is the seed of transformation, and transformation in our reality, but also transformation in ourselves.
Very powerful, very powerful. So everyone can understand that if they're feeling a draw to change or something's sparked in them, they might recognize now that this is part of what's happening because we're getting this planetary influence.
Yeah, and also I think it will be helpful for everybody if they understand and embrace that transformation, because most of us, and I'm including myself here, changes are always difficult. We like to see, we like to leave what we already know, what we feel that is safe. We like to repeat what we have been doing over and over. And every time we move away from what we feel is normal, a little bit of tension creates within us. right? So we always try to go back to what is normal.
Yeah, and
And
I think the change always happens. It's
mhm,
just that when you it involves uncertainty, it creates a little bit of anxiety in us. However, if we know that this is a time of transformation and that this is a time of change to embrace, we can have less uncertainty about it and more, I understand that that's what it is. And then I really like what you did in the morning meditation, which was invite people to, when they meditate, ask for it to be a gentle um, change and ask for it to be manageable, because we have that capability to think through it that way.
mhm. What I believe, or what I kind of live by, is I'm connected, and we all are, but I'm connected with my soul. My soul is the one that set me here, and my soul is the one that can help me and guide me. So I believe in this communication back and forth, where I know I have a mission, but also from here, from Earth, I can explain what I need, what kind of need what kind of help I need, how I need to be supported by Spirit. So that's why I always feel like we have this ability to ask our soul. Yes, we have to go through this transformation. We cannot avoid the transformation, but please give me the awareness of what is transforming in my life. What is needed from me to let go, and what I need to incorporate. Give me the understanding, and then help me navigate that transformation with ease, with grace, with faith, with trust. So this is a new process that we are starting today. And as you can see here, there's a lot of red lines. Um, to me, red lines are opportunities. Red lines require our actions. So I don't want to go so into astrology right now, but I really feel that Spirit and our soul requires us right now to take action, to start um, understanding where we have to go and take that first step.
And embrace it. It's a fertile time to do it, which that's a great time. And Pluto's going to give us a gentle push, so that's nice.
Well, Pluto give us a gentle push when we are open to accept that transformation. When you resist the transformation, then things change, because in a way, life is going to force you one way or another to go through that transformation.
Well, maybe
So,
that's part of the answer, is that we embrace it and understand it, and it can feel very manageable. But if we fight it, Pluto kind of has more tricks up their sleeve. So it's much better to go with it.
and that's
So,
what I feel is good to know what we're going through, because
right,
that way we can understand. I might not like it, but I have to do it. And in
exactly.
that way, I'm gonna learn how to navigate this new reality. I'm I'm thinking a lot of what I hear everywhere, like let's go back to normal.
Yeah.
And I'm really wondering, are we going to go back to normal? It's like maybe we're gonna have a new normal, and maybe that new normal is gonna be great. Um,
And change is normal as well. It always changes. Things always change. We just, in this sense, there was many things happening in the last year that were unexpected, and that feels like a dramatic change. And so let's see,
mhm.
after last year, we can get through anything.
Well, what I think 2020 was that energy is breaking us down, really, and for us to figure this is not happening anymore. Forget about this. This is not what creation is going to bring to you anymore. So start dissolving, start letting go. And now 2021 is going to show us possibilities. Because of course we are the creators. So the energies might be sending us in one direction, but from on that direction we can have and we can find many, many paths. So that's when I think free will comes.
Exactly.
So it's time to create a new reality, but what reality we're going to create, that is up to us. So
love it. I think this is great, and thank you for just providing this gentle reminder for the audience, because I think it's really important to kind of go with the change.
mm-hmm. And the technique that I use, maybe this is helpful for others, is notice. And instead of immediately react, notice when somebody comes with and says a word that you find that word hurtful. Why are you being hurt? Why that word is activating that feeling in you? When you notice something that you do not like, why you not like it? Why do you feel that somebody is attacking you? Or why do you feel that you are lost? Or instead of the immediate reaction, just notice how you're feeling. Notice in your interactions with others, notice how you feel. What relationships are helping you bloom and shine, and what relationships you are leaving you like drained, right? So
I think one of the ways that, I think about it, and it's similar to notice, is just gentle awareness, meaning that I hold what's coming at me in gentle awareness, and then I hold myself in gentle awareness. So I'm also not trying to beat up on myself. Oh, I could have done that differently. I would have done. Just literally try to act with less judgment about everything. It really helps. And then when here's the beauty of it, and I think this is really, really great, is if you are judgmental for whatever good reason, you hold that in gentle awareness as well. You give yourself a break, we're on a human journey and we did something, and then we're gonna lessen our judgment and keep moving. Because this idea of I made a mistake, I would have done that differently, we can't change any of those things. We can change what happens in this moment. So I think that's really great, and I think notice is a really important thing for people to hear.
Yeah, I'm calling that my recovery time. Because like everybody, something happened and my first instinct is to react.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes I caught myself reacting before the reaction, and it's like, okay, stop it. But sometimes the reaction is so strong that I first thing comes the reaction and the aggression and talking back. But what I've noticed now, that the time that takes me to go back to my understanding, it's shorter now. So I react, but the time that it takes me to understand, oh, I'm in reaction mode, is shorter.
Yeah, so, and cut it off. I've had success with, if I can feel something building, I try to extricate myself, literally pull myself away from it. Helps as well. And again, then hold it in gentle awareness. Like even when I react, I'm being human, and that's okay. And I'll effort to do better next time in my gentle awareness execution. So
that's very pretty. I think I'm going to start to call it that way. Start calling it that way now. So you think we can start with the 4 realities? And I thought about bringing this to the meeting just because it's helping me understand that I am more than a physical body, that I exist beyond my physical body. My physical reality is influencing other realities, but also other realities are influencing my physical reality. So that flow of energy is what I think I can use to improve my life. Because really, I don't know what is needed from me in other realities, but I can understand what is needed for me in this physical reality. Does that make sense, Henry?
Absolutely does.
Okay. So we have here 4 realms, and I got this understanding from Kabbalah. But what I feel is important here is not just remember the names, but understand what's happening in each realm, okay? Because this one here, the one at the bottom, is called the world of Asiya, but this one is our physical reality. So here is, right now we having this connection is happening here in Asiya. And the things that we needed to make this connection happen were provided here in Asiya. But we got to this point because of all the energy that was poured into us. So this is the manifestation, this is the action of something that started being planned way before. Okay, so Asiya represents our physical reality, and the soul that lives in this reality is called Nefesh. So Nefesh is the soul that keeps the body, the physical body, breathing, alive. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Okay.
Asiya is where the rubber meets the road. It's where what we're doing right now, talking, looking at a screen.
All of that, all our physical actions are happening now in this reality, our 3D reality. And the soul that keeps the body working is called Nefesh. But then we are influenced, and we just talked about this, by the planetary energies, which is the reality of Yetzirah. And the interesting thing is that an aspect of our soul, an aspect of our extended physical body, that extended body, actually exists in this reality. And the soul that lives in Yetzirah is called Ruach. So now you can see your physical body with the Nefesh soul, and then an energetic field bigger than the physical body, that is the soul of Ruach. So you are Nefesh, you are your physical body, you are your face, you are your name, you are Nefesh, but you are also Ruach. You have a soul that is as powerful as the soul of a planet. Are we good now? Yeah? Okay,
I love it.
now we're gonna go now to the realm of Berea. And this is the realm of our higher self. This is the realm where things are being planned. This is where our soul lives. And that soul is the soul Neshama. So when we talk about connecting with our higher self, we are actually talking about connecting, or not connecting, because I feel the connection is always there, but having awareness of that connection with our Neshama soul.
Our higher self never leaves us. It's just
exactly.
sometimes we're not open to listening.
Mm-hmm. When we're talking about creating the connection with our higher self, I see it in a different way. I see it more like removing all the obstruction, all the blockages, all the filters that we built in on that connection. Remove it, so then the connection is pure. So for me, my spiritual work, my inner work, is not as much as creating connection, but trying to remove from my energetic self everything that is stopping that connection or debilitating that connection. So,
yeah,
but here,
and you know, I look at Asiya as we're here to create and live, and so we have environmental factors in this physical realm, and then we have environmental factors in Yetzirah, and that's where so that's where the planetary energies are providing things like what we talked about, Pluto and the new moon, and then your higher self can help navigate the physical realm, but also what happens actually creates this blockage sometimes because you're more worried about your physical realm or what people are doing to you or someone cutting you off in traffic, and you can lose the connection that or your visibility. Again, your soul, your higher soul never leaves you. So it's interesting because there's this dynamic of it creates energy, but it also can help you navigate it as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. For now, we're not going to talk about these two, because this is realities of possibilities and potentiality. Things are in potential. But here is where our life, our physical life plays. Because our higher self, when we descend into our physical life, we come with a mission. But what I call a mission is something that our soul wants to experience, something that is going to provide expansion and understanding for our soul. So our soul descends here with a purpose. And then here we are born. This connection is what we have to strengthen. And from here, from our physical reality, we can, through practices of meditation, praying, awareness, whatever technique you use to connect with the inner voice, we connect with our soul. And here we let our soul know how we are perceiving the reality, what we feel we need here. So when our soul understands what we need from here, directs the planetary energies, and then the energies brought into our physical reality. So it's a continuous and perfect exchange of information between these lower three here.
I think that's a wonderful way to look at it. And I think you made a comment, I think it's worth just mentioning that, I don't really see a lot of difference between meditating and prayer. That to me, from a non-denominational perspective, it's connecting, and you connect, and however you do that, I tell my Christian, Catholic, Islamic friends that however you do it, that's wonderful. That's a wonderful thing, because it's about that connection, and those arrows show it. So however you do it.
Well, I like the idea of praying. Sometimes I use the praying. Most of the time is meditation, but also like hugging trees, contemplating the ocean, sitting on a rock, being in nature. So it's whatever action you take to look and open yourself for that communication. So I think
and I know you have a lot of information too around the, you feel better when you're in the woods and you can touch trees and be in nature. And maybe in one of our upcoming episodes, we can talk about why that is. So spiritually, why that is, like what's happening in our environment, because I think that's a really neat one. And I know you have a great perspective on that.
Okay, I'll be happy to share. So what I want to now is to focus in these three realities. This one I think is the easiest one to explain, because this is our real life, our physical life. So you and I connecting here, talking and sharing this video is a SIA. So are we clear on this one, right? Right. So, and then I think this one is the next one that is easier to understand, because this is our higher self and where archangels are. So this is our soul. And through meditations, I felt that it's very similar to our reality, but not limited as our reality. So I think we do have a kind of shape, and we do have a kind of knowing of who we are, but it's also this understanding that we are all connected, and more freedom to experience. The thing is, I believe at some point, at some times in our history, we did have this freedom here on earth, but because we were not as evolved, we created so much chaos that creation decided to put us in this box of this reality. So whatever we create here doesn't affect other realms. But in this reality, we enjoy that freedom. So when we want to do something, when we want to experience something that is not allowed in this reality because it can hurt others, or we have to leave it and experience it disconnected from that knowing that we are all connected, so having this illusion of separation, then we bring that that experience into this reality, because this is like a contained environment here. We can do something that will not affect what happened in all of creation. Make sense?
I think a simple way I think about it is free will. So you have free will, and you may want to do something that your higher self basically would never do. And but that's okay, because that's part of your being here in this physical realm. So when we do something free will, and it's different than what your higher self would have done, you do create fogginess, a disconnection from your perspective with it. But that's part of what we're here for. We're here to live. We're here to experience. We're here to readjust and keep going again. And understanding that comes back to holding in gentle awareness, because your higher self is still kind of always telling you, like, that's not how I would do it. And it gives you a chance to get back in alignment with your higher self. So I think that's really, really important.
So one of the things that for me was easier to understand this, when I got this image in my mind of, imagine that you want to drive, you want to understand or feel, you want to know how it feels to drive 200 miles per hour, right? You cannot do this. You cannot do this here on Earth unless you are in a specific place, but because that becomes dangerous for everybody else driving around you, right? So it's too fast and you can hurt somebody, you can hurt yourself. But now you can buy those games now that you put the 3D thing here. And in that game, you can drive as fast as you want. So, and if you are spending a lot of time on that game, at some point you forget that you are sitting on the couch. You are actually in that game, experiencing speed, experiencing that fear of dying, or whatever it is that you want to experience through that game. So that's what is helping me understand the soul cannot do some things here, but when it gets into that box, can experience it here in ASEA. And you get that feeling, you know how it feels driving that fast. And then you send that information. Your soul can experience that through your physical action. Yeah, good.
Great.
So this is what allows, this is your soul wanting to expand. And I think I have this feeling that our soul expands in awareness and in love and in light. So the soul kind of grows by understanding love and light in deeper ways. And the way that soul has to experience that is in this reality. So our job here on Earth is to follow our heart in a way and connect with each other, learn to cooperate and share with each other, and also be open to that interaction of giving and receiving with each other. So what Berea uses to bring action into our physical reality is the planetary energies of Yetzirah. So imagine that ASEA is Earth providing you with a structure, with a platform for action. Yetzirah will be the wind that moves you one way or another. Yetzirah is the energies that help you connect the coincidences that we feel in life, or help us connect with each other. And by connecting, we can create something. So an example about this class or this meeting that we're having today is happening in Asia. But my soul wanted me to experience this meeting. Your soul wanted you to experience this connection. So Yetzirah, years ago, connected us. And probably now, because we have Mars in Aries, in Taurus, now it's time to bring that power and that action to manifest here on Earth. Also is the new moon of transformation, and for me it's a big step to come here and share on YouTube. So I'm needing extra help from Mars, from Pluto, to be brave enough to do this. So my soul wanted, yet Yetzirah is supporting this, is giving me that push, and now we're manifesting here on Earth.
I think that's great. And, you know, such a great explanation. And I like in the one that, you know, is pretty popular right now as a simple example, when people say, and it's, you know, Mercury's in retrograde and it's messing up communications, or your computer doesn't work, or things get unplugged that weren't unplugged. And it's that planetary energy kind of gently moving things around. And when you start to realize that that's just Mercury, and retrograde is just one of those energies, and then you have so many more, as we discussed at the beginning with Pluto, you start to understand why we have this ebb and flow that we have, and that there is this this force that actually kind of moves things for us and creates energy. Anybody that knows anybody that either works in a hospital or for a police department or fire department knows when there's a full moon, there's more activity. So there, you can feel planetary energy all the time. Sometimes we're aware of it and sometimes we're not. But I really love your explanation of it, from how Yetzirah is helping us. And again, it can help if we choose to acknowledge it and try to understand it.
Yetzirah doesn't make things happen for you. Yetzirah is not forcing you. Your soul is yelling at you, let's do this, let's do this. And Yetzirah will give you the push that you need, but nobody's forcing you to take action. So
yeah, we still have free will to
Exactly. So Mars is in Taurus, giving us all the strength now to get things done. But I made the decision, and I am overcoming all my inner, my shadow of being shy and all that kind of stuff. I'm the one saying, okay, I'm going to make it happen today. I could have said, I'm not ready. So Yetzirah is not forcing you to take action, but it's really giving you a push to go one way or another way. And of course, at the end, it's up to you to make it happen.
And how you feel through that change, you can start to understand as well, because as the planetary energies, if you're really resisting, it sometimes can feel like you're really pushing against something. So I just think this awareness is so key, because your connection to your higher self, also gives you kind of like an understanding and a belief that everything's going to be okay as well. Mm-hmm. So you can always tap into that.
Don't forget that here, your neshama soul in Berea is kind of yelling at you, do it, do it, do it. If you say no, this is not going to go away. Next time it's going to yell louder. So one thing, you were talking Mercury, and during summer, the first day that Mercury went retrograde, I remember, Mercury retrograde can make you break electronics and things like that. So in morning meditation, I got this message of take time off. And I don't know how to take vacation. So my first, do something for yourself, take time off. So during that meditation, I kind of try to negotiate with my soul. Like usually doesn't go that way, doesn't work fine. So I said, no, I'm not going to take time off, but I'm just going to prepare a nice lunch so that way you're happy. And we finished the meditation. Next thing that happened, my computer just broke, dead. So it's like, yeah, you are going to take time off because everything that I do it with my computer. So Mercury was retrograde. My soul asked me to take time off. I said, no. Mercury is like, well, see what happened now.
Yeah.
You don't have a computer. And he forced me to take time off until I get my next computer. But the thing is, then I have awareness of my soul asked me to learn to take time off. I reacted and I was mad for 10 minutes, but then it's like, okay, I'm going to flow with this energy now. I am going to learn to take time off because I don't want my computer to break over and over again or other bigger things happen. So, but that's the part where, yeah, they broke my computer. I was not able to connect, but I became aware of that and I decided to adjust. So I took action in ASEA.
I think the word flow is really important there, because almost saying to everyone that's listening, when you're in the flow and it's flowing and you're connected and you're just living life, and it feels divinely guided because you're not feeling as much ebb and flow from the planets. If you're flowing, it feels good. When you have free will, which we all do, and you do something that isn't as connected to your higher self, you feel that as well. You feel that it's not as easy. It's, when it's like waking up early and getting 5 things done that you've been meaning to do for a while, and you just realize like, oh, this was so nice. It was easy. I got it done. And then I always try to hold myself in gentle awareness and say, that's all right. I'm not going to beat myself up for not doing it yesterday. I'm just going to enjoy the fact I got it done today. Like, enjoy that thing that flowed for you. And the more you look for things that flow and recognize that they flow, the more that comes to you, which I think is just flow is a really important word, because when you're going against it, if you can feel it, and when you're going with it, you can really feel it too. Mm-hmm. And you can acknowledge it.
So what I think out of this meeting, what I would like for everybody to remember is this connection here, this flow here. So, and just let me say one more thing about Yetzirah, because I can kind of open Yetzirah in explaining 2 different ways. So one thing of Yetzirah, because it's associated with planetary energies, one thing is understand what's happening right now in the sky. So what are the influences that we are having right now, right? But another important thing is understanding our natal chart, because that explains our wiring, our inner wiring. So we all have Mars. When we say I'm a Sagittarius, that just means that my sun is in Sagittarius. But where is my moon? And what is my ascendant? And where is my Venus? Each planet kind of plays it's like a little fairy inside of you. So how is the fairy of relationship with others, the fairy of transformation and power, the fairy of getting into action and understanding who you are and what you want. So there are little personalities that we have. And you are formed with a little bit of each of them, but each of them have different influences in you. So how is your inner wiring? When you notice your natal chart, you can understand why you care so much about groups and friends, and perhaps you don't put much attention on your home, or what is so important for you to understand what is in front of you and not much of thinking what is in the future. So that can also give you an idea of what is your purpose in life. And again, we get that from understanding how is our inner wired by looking at our natal chart. So that is also happening here in the world of Yetzirah.
I think a future episode, many actually, could be dedicated to that, similar to what you just did with where Pluto is and where the new moon is. Mm-hmm. That is, I think, one of the best instructions that I've gotten from you, and I really cherish it because it helped me understand that when it's going well, here's the wind at my back from my natal chart, and when I'm struggling, here's what I'm facing from my natal chart. It even helps you even understand ultimately what to ask your higher self to help with. And so I just think that particular one, I think our audience would get so much out of it. They're probably going to flock to you for more questions like I do, but I think it's so crucial because we're all here to get certain things done, and our natal chart tells us what that is if we decide we want to try to understand it. And then this connection to higher self, and then the planetary energies, and then our current reality really allows us to navigate this. When something pops up, you can kind of isolate it, understand it, and then get back into the flow again and feel really good. So I'm excited for our audience for that, for some of that diving in there, because I just think you have a particularly great way of explaining it, and I want them all to experience.
Thank you. I'll be happy to share, but it's just going to be like many meetings.
Over time. Yeah. But that's okay, because then they'll get it. And by the way, you can always re-listen and get more of this the next time as well. So I think creating this as multiple episodes will help people. Yeah.
Think of your soul sending you there, right? Sending you to Earth. Here you go, and you are born on Earth, right? But in order for you to experience specific things, you have to come with a specific wiring. That's why we're not all enjoying the same things. That's why somebody's really into technology while others are more into cooking, or more into building homes, or more into, being with your family or taking care of the family, and others are really going for a career. And, so we all have different wantings and needs. And that is our inner wiring. And that is all. It's like your soul sends you there, but sends you with specific instructions.
Well, here it's like your user manual almost.
Yeah.
It's like the user manual. So we all knew we had one.
Yeah, I really found it super helpful to understand my natal chart and say, okay, that's what I'm feeling this way.
Yeah. I'm really excited for the audience to
that's why I don't know how to cook.
Yeah, it's great.
And what happened is, if you know what is important for you, so if you know what is your purpose in this life, if you understand why you care about things so much, plus you understand the currents of the energies that are happening in that moment, then you can bring all that awareness and that understanding here to your physical life. And it can give you guidance, but also can give you affirmation. Oh, I'm doing this because it's part of what my soul wants me to do. And then you learn to flow.
Exactly. And that's really a big part of the goal of even doing these episodes, because we want people to have tools, understand that there's ways to think about it, know that there is a kind of a plan, and you can connect into it. And ultimately, all of that connecting is always about you, not anything you say or I say. It's always about you. But if you understood that there's a way to get through it, a way to understand it, then it makes it a lot easier. So you're a gift, Laura. You're a gift to help the world understand it better. And I'm excited for a little part in helping people translate it in any way they can, in any way they can.
Let me share one more thing that I feel is important. The more you take action here in ASEA at the bottom, the more you act and get things done, excuse me, then you send the understanding and the growth to your soul. So the faster that is for your soul to send you the next task. When you stop the action here, when you have this push, but you are not acting, what you're doing is you are stopping the flow. So you're not sending anything back. You're not feeding your soul. So your soul cannot send you the next thing.
Yeah.
So
that's great, because I think the flow piece comes back to that, right? Because some people have action, but they're kind of fighting uphill, and it feels like it goes slower than it should. And then, like you said, you were encouraged to slow down. Sometimes it's slow down so that you can take accounting of what you have and where you are and where you need to, where your soul is pushing you gently and you're not going. But just by slowing down, it's somewhat counterintuitive. Just by slowing down, you can start to speed up and get back into the flow. So it goes both ways on the action piece, I think. And I try to tell people, if it's the right thing because you got a smile on your face and it feels easy. If it's
excites you, right?
Yeah.
When you are doing something that's really part of your soul purpose, it's like times fly. Yeah. You could do that even for free if there is no money involved. It's just you're living your joy.
That's right. So
those are the things that I feel are important here in ASEA. First of all, notice if you are living on your joy. What gives you joy? It's so that way it's part of your inner wiring. And the other thing is noticing divine timing. So it's the right time now for action. And that you feel by understanding the planetary energies of the moment is the right time for this. Also gives you a lot of awareness of be careful about this right now. So because like right now we have Mars that enters Taurus, and Mars was in Aries for 6 months. So it was the beginning. Mars is the ruler of Aries. So it was the beginning and the understanding of what I want. And now Mars steps into Taurus, which is pure action. So everything that you felt you wanted to get done, now you feel like you're rushing. This is the time to start it, to manifest it, right? So it's a beautiful energy, but also can create anxiety, can create anger. So the energy of Mars is always beautiful, but we live in a reality of duality. So how we channel that energy is very important too. So
absolutely,
that goes
I love
back
it.
to
I'm totally feeling that. I feel it's more clear what I want to get done, and then I feel like getting it done is easier now. Like it feels good, and then I just live in the sense of accomplishment. I'm not trying to get it all done. I pick a few. It's interesting. I really believe if you pick 3 things that you want to get done during the day, you end up with 12 getting done. But if you start out with thinking you got to get 12 done, you only get 3 done, and then you're frustrated with yourself. So it's like that gentle awareness piece always comes back. It's like, I'm gonna get these 3 done perfectly and in great timing, and then we'll see what else happens. And then it gets better and better and better. So hopefully everybody feels that.
Yeah, just remember that here is actions, but it's always a connection with your higher self. And the way you work on that connection is by having again, meditation time, praying time, self-awareness time, a moment when you just stop from action and just go inner and try to connect with that inner voice and expect guidance. Expect the understanding of what is the next step for you without the need to know the whole plan, but to know the next step. So remember this cycle here.
That's
Higher
great.
self, planetary energies, inner wiring, and action.
That's awesome. And I love how it connects to where we started. So I like I like, you know, maybe each episode will say, is there anything going on planetary wise? And it still connects to this, and then we can go on to the topic. I felt really comfortable and really important. So
And we can always receive questions ahead, so that way we can, start the meeting with some answers. If we have the answers, right? We can start the meeting with answers. So,
awesome.
all right. Thank you so much, Henry, for this
Thank you.
opportunity.
Great job. Looking forward to the next time.
All right. Bye bye. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.